welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a full set. So as you can see, I'm going in with my cuticle bit, and I'm just using this bit to go around my cuticles and to get in my side walls. If you have a problem using your sanding band to get in those side walls and that cuticle area, I definitely recommend you getting a cuticle bit because this bit is very gentle and it's not going to cut your client easily, so you're going to be more confident about getting close to your client's cuticles. Now I'm going to come in with my sanding band, and I'm going to use this to go over the surface of the nail very gentle. Usually I start from the right and make my way over to the left, and then lightly I'm going over my client's nail bed. You do not want to apply too much pressure to your client's nail because this might create friction and you can damage your client's nail as well. Usually when I'm prepping with my sanding band, I'm at like 5,000 RPMs, and like I said before, I am not putting too much pressure. Okay, so now I'm using my nippers, and I'm just going to nip all that excess hanging cuticles. That way, whenever I'm applying my cuticle beads, I do not have anything hanging or getting in the way. If you're not comfortable nipping, you do not have to do this. This is a personal thing. It's either you like it or you don't, or you can do as much as you are comfortable. Then I'm going to dust the client's nails off and measure my tips. Whenever you're measuring your tips, you want to make sure that your tips are fitting from side to side. You never want to use a tip that is too small because small tips make your nail breaks easily and it lifts at the side as well. So the bigger the tip is, the better, because at least you can come in with your hand file, shave the sides down, and you can also use your scissors to cut any excess. So like I said before, whenever you're measuring your tips, make sure they fit from side to side. I'm going to be using these Coffin tips, and everything that I use in this video will be linked in my description box. Whenever I measure my tips, I measure for both hands. So I don't measure the second hand as well. I just use the size from the first hand. I use it for the second. If I get to the second hand and I notice that the tip is too small or too big, I'll just go back to my case and get another size. But for the most part, it usually fits. So I'm using the KDS glue, and I put my glue on the client's nail and then I glue the tips on. I know a lot of nail techs, they put the glue in the well of the tip and then they glue it, but I don't like to do it because sometimes the glue tends to drip all over the tip when I do that. So I just put it on the client's nail and then I glue the tip down. That works best for me. And as you can see, these tips, they stick very fast, and that's what you're looking for when you're using tips. As long as the glue is working right, your tips should not be taking forever to stick. It should stick extremely fast. Hold it for 5 seconds and release. So now I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut to my client's desired length. The first hand is usually the length that the client asks for. So what I'm going to do after, I'm going to just measure the tips, making sure they're all on the same length. So what you want to do is make sure you put the cuticles next to each other, and that's how you're going to know that all the tips are on the same length. Or you can get, I see most people using the thing that's like a magnet thing that you can just pick the size and you get it the length of each nail like perfect. But for me, I've been doing this for so long, so it's not a problem. So now I'm going to come in with my 8080 grit hand file and I'm going to pre-shape my tips before I start working. So this pinky finger is going to be a stiletto, so I'm just going to go ahead and pre-shape that. That way I'm not going to spend too much time shaping the tips. When you're shaping, you want to make sure that you hold the tip as well, add some support. You see how my finger is up against the tip because this can be very uncomfortable for your client. You're shaping and the tip is moving back and forth, so you need to kind of like hold the opposite side just to keep your tip stable. Also, whenever you're shaping, you want to make sure that you keep alternating from one side to the next. You never want to stay on one side for too long because then you can make your tips crooked by doing that. Also, whenever you're working, you want to make sure that if the tip is crooked, try to take it off from the beginning because it's kind of hard to get the shape back when you apply the acrylic if the tip was already crooked. So try your best to make sure the tips are on straight. That's going to help you with your shaping in the end. Sometimes we miss some things and we just have to try to do it, work with what we have as best as possible. But if you can catch the shape from the jump with the tips, so just make sure that the tips are already glued on straight. So I'm going to finish shaping my tips. Then what I'm going to do after is I'm going to blend the tip to the natural nail, and then I'll be right back. Now that I'm done shaping and blending my tip, I'm just going to dust the nails off, making sure I'm working on a nice and clean surface, dust free. And then I'm going to come in with my length free wipes and my young nail swipe, and I'm going to use this to dehydrate the client's nail. This is going to help your nails last longer. So this basically remove any excess oil that might be on the surface of your client's nail. And one thing I must say, ever since I start dehydrating my nails, they do last longer. So this is something, if you're not doing, maybe you need to do as well. So now I'm going to come in with my protein bond, and I'm going to give each nail 2 coats. Whenever you apply your protein bond or your primer, try not to over flood the cuticles because that can also cause lifting. So for the pinky finger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by applying some clear acrylics because I'm going to be doing an encapsulated design. So these are some fall leaves that I'm going to put on top of the nail. So what the clear basically did was, when I put the leaves down, it helps to hold them in place. So whenever I'm working with any type of glitter or encapsulations, I always like to apply the charms or the leaves or the glitter with clear, because this is going to help to hold them in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to encapsulate the rest of the nail with clear. So what you want to do is make sure all the glitters or all the leaves are placed exactly how you want them to look, and then you can go ahead and encapsulate. Whenever you're doing encapsulated designs, try to work with wet beads, because if the bead is too dry, you can create bubbles, and you don't want that. You want your encapsulated design in the end when you put your top coat on, you want that to have a very transparent look. And to get this look, you have to work with wet beads. And also, if you're still struggling with having that transparent look, try to work with like smaller beads instead of working with larger beads, because in the past as well, I can never achieve that nice transparent look. And then I noticed I'm working with my beads too big and they were too dry as well. So if you want to get your clear, if you know any type of design that you're going for like a transparent background energy, you want to make sure that you're working on with wet beads. On the ring finger, I'm going to be doing a glitter ombre. So I'm going to come in with a small wet clear bead, and I'm going to place this on the nail. Then I'm going to come in with some glitter and place this on the glitter, on the clear. But like I said before, whenever you're working with any type of glitter, you want to make sure that you're adding clear as you go along, because this is going to hold your glitter in place. Also, what you can do is you can already pre-mix your glitter with clear, that way you don't have to keep adding it. But as for me, I don't always use my glitter to do encapsulated designs or designs like this. Sometimes I am working with it like on my nail art and stuff like that, and I do not need the clear in it. But if you can pre-mix it, that's even better for you, instead of doing it the way I am doing it, which is adding the clear as I go along, which is absolutely fine as well. So what I'm doing now, I'm just adding the clear. The clear is basically holding the glitter in place like I said before. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my ombre design. Whenever you're working with glitter, one thing you want to make sure that the glitter sets before you try to play in it or do any type of extra designs. Because if the glitter didn't set right, this is me like tapping it in place and just giving it time to set. That way when I come in with my ombre, the glitter will not move, or I have the effect that I'm going for. So you want to make sure that you give your encapsulation some seconds or a minute to set in place before you try to do anything extra with it. So I'm going to place this first bead right behind where the glitter started, and I'm going to make sure that I don't allow this cover color to go too far down on the glitter, because sometimes we get carried away and we allow that cover acrylic to go too far up on the glitter, and then it takes away from the effect that we were trying to go for, because that used to happen to me a lot as well. I used to just apply my cover color and then it takes away from the glitter, or it takes away from the white that I was going for at the tip. Also, whenever you're working with ombre, try to work with wetter beads, because this is going to give a smoother transition. Whether it's a glitter ombre or solid colors, whatever the case is, try to work with wet beads, because then the two colors will blend better. Whenever you're working, you will always want to make sure also that you're tapping your acrylic using the belly of your brush, so you have a nice smooth surface. The surface is not going to be too bumpy, so you have to always make sure that your surface is nice and smooth. And then any type of encapsulated design or ombre that you're doing, you have to put clear in the end. That way when you start drilling, you will not drill directly into your design. So whenever you're applying, you have to also think ahead and remember that you can't build a nail too thick, because you have to leave space for your clear as your encapsulated color. So whenever you're doing encapsulated design, think about your clear as well, and do not build your nails too thick. And then when you drill, you still have to drill all the clear off because the nail is too thick and you just got to get rid of it. So basically, yes, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but I just want y'all to get what I'm saying. Don't build the nails too thick and forget that you have to apply clear in the end. That's it. So on the middle finger, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add clear again, and then I'm going to add some glitter in the clear, and basically I'm just repeating what I did on the ring finger and the pinky finger, the same encapsulated vibes. And you guys already know how to do encapsulation based on what I said on those two previous nails. We're working with clear, and we're allowing the glitter to set. So after this, I'm going to add some more clear on top of it, and for this one I'm going to move on to the next finger because I wanted to give this glitter enough time to set. Reason being because this design is way more detailed, and I didn't want to start working on it too soon and then the glitter shifts. So I'm going to let that glitter sit right there and set while I move to the pointer finger. And on the pointer finger, I'm going to be doing a solid nail. The first bead I'm going to place right where the tip and the natural nail meets. Press and release. And whenever you're applying, you want to make sure that your client's fingers is tilted downwards. That way, naturally, the acrylic is going to flow to the tip of the nail. Please do not overwork your acrylic. For the most part, the acrylic is doing the work for you. All you need to do is guide the acrylic and give it gentle strokes towards the tip. You're also going to find yourself doing a lot of tapping. Tapping the acrylic is basically holding it in place. Now I'm going to set this bead just above the cuticle, then gently tuck it back towards the cuticles. You never want to place your cuticle bead exactly in the cuticle area. You always want to leave a little extra space so when the acrylic starts to melt, you have space to do your tucking, and any type of arrows you have space to fix. So never apply your cuticle bead directly in your cuticle. Always remember to clean your sides up. That way you're going to keep the shape of your nails, because we spend time in the beginning to pre-shape the tip and we want to keep this shape as much as possible. Also, you want to make sure there's no acrylic falling underneath. So try to make sure that if there's anything under, when you wipe your acrylic off, sometimes it falls. So you want to make sure that you don't have anything hanging like acrylic. So make sure you get that out too. Again, so I'm going to be doing another encapsulated design on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this nude right in the cuticle area, tuck it back and flush it. I'm not trying to have this nude all the way to the tip, so I'm going to blend it, and then I'm going to come in with some fall leaves, add that to the wet acrylic, and then I'm going to encapsulate it with clear. After I'm done with the thumb, I'm going to go back to my middle finger and encapsulate with clear. Then I'll be right back. Please don't forget to hit the like button and share with a friend. That way they can come and watch this video as well. If you hit like and share and leave some comments, it's going to help me to grow, and YouTube is going to push my video more. So please hit that like button, and if you have something to say, leave a comment in the comment section. Now that we are done with our application, I'm going to come in again and I'm going to shape my nails. Of course, whenever you apply your acrylic nice and tidy, it's going to help you with your time because now you don't have to spend that much time shaping. So this is why it is so important to work on your acrylic application. That way, whenever you come into shape, you do not have a lot of shaping to do. Acrylic application is going to really help you with saving time in the shaping process. So whenever you're shaping, also you want to make sure that you hold your client's hand completely straight and keep alternating from side to side. Whenever you hold your file up against the nail, you should already see the shape forming out. Whenever you're shaping, you got to keep checking your shape and making sure you're not over filing or you're not filing one side too much. You also want to make sure you get underneath because most times we believe that the shape is off on top, but because we have hanging stuff under like acrylic or some of the tip, it might look like the shape is off when we really just need to clean that up. Then, as you know, I'm going to flip my client's end and look at it from the client's view. Now I'm going to come in with my medium drill bit and I'm going to drill my client's nail. And whenever I am drilling, my drill is usually at about 19,000 to 20,000 RPMs. You definitely do not need to be at 20, 21 if you are not comfortable. You could even do 14,000, 15,000, do whatever you're comfortable with. But you really need to start practicing to use your drill because this is going to help you to save a lot of time. So whenever I am drilling, I always have my pinky finger resting on my hand or my client's hand because this is going to help you to keep your drill stable and it's going to just allow you to have so much more control over your drill. So try to make sure that pinky finger is always in place and is helping you to keep that drill stable. That way you don't cut your client easily and the drill will not be rolling around the client's nail. We all have that experience before. Also, make sure that you're getting as close to your client's cuticles as much as possible with your drill bit because this is going to help you to seal your nail. If you prep the nail right, if you prime the nail, if you did your cuticle bead application right and you did not seal your nail, you're going to still have lifting. So make sure that you are sealing your acrylic. This is going to help you with lifting. Sealing the acrylic is basically going around like I'm doing right now, getting as close as possible to the back end of the nail, making sure the acrylic have that snug, tight fit to your client's nail. Also, you want to make sure that you're not over filing it because sometimes like you hold the drill at a certain angle and you can cut your client, like the client nail is right there like in the back end. So I'm trying to find a way to explain this. But basically, when you get in the back end, remember that also your client nail is right there as well. So if you hold your drill up too straight, you can create like a ditch in the back and you can actually cut your client like that. I'm going to do a more detailed video on that. But also, whenever you're drilling, you want to make sure you get as much work done as possible with your drill because then if you do not, you have to come back again with your hand file and do a lot of excess shaping. So let's just use our drill to get rid of much acrylic, much of the bumps, get our acrylic nice and smooth as much as possible with our drill. After I'm done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust the nails off and do my design. But I hope you guys completely understand how to drill, and if you don't, if you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section. And also, whenever you're drilling, you do not want to stay in one place for too long because then your drill is going to heat up and it's going to start burning your client. One thing also, if you're drilling and you notice that your clients start pulling back, that means something is not right. Either they're scared of the bit or the bit is heating up. So sometimes you have to communicate with your client, like, why are you moving? What's is it burning? Am I cutting you? Like, just say something just so you can know what they're feeling. Also, it's good to work on yourself as well, because this is going to give you a pace of when you do what happens. So it's good, so you do a full set on yourself as well and use the drill and see how it feels. And then you can, that's a good judgment for you when you're doing your client's nail. So like I said before, I'll see you guys when I'm doing the design. I'm just going to finish drilling and then I'm going to do my pumpkin. See you guys in the other segment. So now that we are done, I'm going to send my client to wash her hand and get rid of all the dust from my work area. Now I'm going to be using this matte top coat to top coat the nail before I do my design, because matte top coats help the lines to be super sharp and you don't have to keep going over your design over and over again. So I highly recommend this style. It works perfect. So for the pumpkin nail, I'm just basically going to be doing like one curve, something looking like a bird at first, and then I'm going to shade the inside. Pumpkin is super easy to draw, and I hope you do this design as well, recreate it and tag me. But for the most part, I think this is a very doable design, and it's a fall, it's fall season, so definitely do this design on your client. And for all the products I'm using in this video, is going to be linked in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for choosing 876 Nails. I really appreciate you guys. And don't forget to hit that like button. And like I said before, I'm going to be doing so much better with my videos. At least once a week I'm working on, or my goal is twice a week to do uploads, but for now I'm satisfied with once a week until I can really know that I could do twice a week. The problem for me is not recording. The problem for me is finding the time to edit and do the voiceovers, because I have so many videos in my phone. This that I'm showing you right now, I recorded like 2 weeks ago, but I'm just not doing a voiceover. So the problem is not really recording. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. How would you feel if I just don't do a voiceover, but I put the video up without me talking? Do you enjoy watching those videos as well? Because I consider doing that at times, but I want to know how you guys feel if I upload more videos, but if I'm not able to do the voiceovers. Would you guys still watch it? How do you feel about watching videos that doesn't have a voiceover to it? Let me know in the comment section, because I was thinking about that also. So after I'm done with my pumpkin, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this line through the ring finger. I just thought to add some white through the glitter, that way I could complement my pumpkin nails. Then I'm going to top coat my nails, and that's going to be the end of the video. And this is what I was telling you guys earlier. Look at how when I apply my top coat, it's so transparent, because I work with wet beads. That's what happens when you work with wet beads. You're going to get that glossy effect instead of it looking cloudy and bubbly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I know I said bye a million times, but bye this time. And don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. And one more thing, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box for everything I use in this video. So if you love this cover acrylic, you can go ahead and find it on my website as well. Everything is going to be linked in the description box. Thank you guys. Bye.